Have there been situations where you let your emotions get the best of you? If that's happened, then this is the episode for you. Welcome to Be a Better Person. In today's episode, we're going to talk about emotional control. All the emotions, the whole spectrum of emotions, just to find a way that maybe you can control them instead of letting them get the best of you. Now, just want you to remember, so you don't feel alone, that think of any emotion that you've ever had. Joy, fear, anger, happiness, depression, sadness, all those emotions. Every single person in the whole entire world has felt every single one of those emotions, no matter what level it may have been. So let's just say, for instance, you lost something, an object, compared to someone who's lost a loved one. While you've still felt the loss, one is way more extreme than the other. And so same with fear, same with anger. Maybe, you were chased by a big dog that was trying to bite you. That level of fear maybe was a little different than your fear of going into a river. So again, everyone has felt these emotions. And again, this topic of emotional control isn't about not having emotions. It's about making sure that you control those emotions in different situations and that you don't let the situation, the people, the words, whatever it may be, get the best of you. That you take that little pause, deep breath, and think about things before you react with your emotions. So for me, for instance, I have had a hard time with this because, again, I didn't learn a lot of this stuff till I've been much older. And things started when I was a younger person, probably 14, 15-ish. And then through most of my life, a lot of anger. Not just towards people in general, besides, the screaming when you're driving the car and people do things that you don't like. But mainly towards people who I love and I care about, which I shouldn't have ever done because those are the people I love and care about. And I don't know where the anger came from. I don't know for sure, but there was a lot, especially during, like I said, that 15 to whatever years. So I've really had to work twice as hard, and I still have a lot of work to go to control those things. And so again, what I'm talking about is not about not having the emotions. It's about controlling them based on the situation you're in, not responding emotionally, taking that pause, that deep breath, so that you can say, okay, why am I doing this? Why is this triggering me? Because that's a big thing too, is trying to figure out, why am I getting so emotional over this word, person, situation? And that'll help us realize maybe we can look back and figure out, oh, because of this is why this is. I'm not saying you can always do it because, like I said, I've never figured out where that anger came from and then how quick it jumps to the level that it does. And so, like I said, I am working on it. And so, again, emotional control is about how do I respond to a situation that I'm not happy with? Why am I not happy with that situation? And how can I make sure that I don't overreact to the situation? And so I'm going to just use this kind of as an example. So the driving thing, because I think a lot of people get upset when they're driving about certain things. And so one of the things that that kind of used to really upset me, now it does not. That's one thing I have gotten down pretty good is, so I'm driving, traffic's coming at me pretty good, nobody behind me for miles, and somebody up there pulls out in front of me. And I have to slow down, maybe even hit the brakes a little harder than just slowing down. And then I have to wait for them to get up to whatever speed or wait for traffic to subside, and then I pass. And so when you look at the whole grand scheme of thing, number one, did that slowing down and waiting to pass maybe added a minute or two from your trip? So really, did that really affect that much? Oh gosh, it was really just pushing a brake and doing it. So you can scream and yell, and I guess if that makes you feel better, you're in the privacy of your own car as long as you're not threatening that other person and riding up on them and possibly causing an accident or, pulling them over and getting out and having a confrontation. But let's just stop and think about, really, did it really change much about your trip that you're taking? Number one. And let's say that you did do those things. You stopped and pulled over and yelled and screamed at the person. Is that possibly going to change their behavior? And maybe this was the first time that they'd ever done it in their life. Maybe something was going on in their life that they were preoccupied with. Oh, a loved one's in a hospital, a loved one just passed, or they're really nervous about a presentation they have, or they're trying to go over it in their head. We don't know. We don't know that person's situation. We do know ours, and we can decide to respond to it in a better way. Oh, well, it's going to be an extra 2 minutes to be on our way. Is that really that terrible in the scheme of life? So, again, here's the pause. Think about, why do we get upset? Oh, because I would never do that to anybody. I would never pull out to anybody. And if I do, I'd go really fast to catch up because we all make mistakes. Maybe it was just an accident. I didn't see you for that second there. Or I was preoccupied with something really life-changing that was happening to me. So again, we have to be very conscious about why those things are. Now, if we're talking about words or phrases possibly that maybe say that you use with a coworker, again, let's not get upset, but let's maybe just talk to the person and say, hey, this is why this upsets me. And hopefully they have enough empathy that they can say, oh, I see where that would kind of make you upset by using that word. And then maybe even if you explain, hey, here's why I use that word. Oh, so nobody ever taught you that that could be a really bad word to say to somebody who's got this going on in their life. Or that's just the way that you were raised, and after saying it for 45 years, it's really hard again to change behaviors and to change the way that the phrases and the things that you use. So again, but that's a conversation maybe you can have, and you can figure out, oh, maybe this is a bad thing. Maybe there's another way I could use it because I worry about how I'm going to affect somebody by using that word. And so again, emotional control, once again, is not about not having emotions. It's about thinking about why you get upset or how you use those emotions in certain situations so that you're not maybe offending another person or you're not causing issues because of the way a situation happened. And it could be a whole gambit of those things, not just anger. Anger is just the biggest one that I think we all need to kind of focus on and make sure that we have kind of under control, because those can escalate into bigger issues and bigger problems when you have anger. I mean, it almost comes back to the same thing as far as jealousy or envy about what somebody else has, or somebody doesn't like you. And then you have those emotions that build up. And instead of thinking it's something wrong with you, because I think that's the biggest problem with things like that, is maybe, first of all, you're not seeing it the right way and you're not interpreting it the right way. So again, communication is a big way to make sure that that doesn't happen. And then secondly is, if somebody doesn't like you, if somebody doesn't have the same feelings for you, that doesn't mean it's anything about you. It means it's something about them. You know, people have things they like and things they don't like, things that they're attracted to and things that they're not attracted to. So to think that it has anything to do with you, it probably doesn't. It has to do with them. It has to do with their preferences. So don't feel bad about it. And plus, do you want to try and force someone to feel a certain way about you? Is that any way to live? Is that you're forcing them to feel a certain way about you, or else you're going to be angry? No, they should just feel that way naturally. And that's why you have these people in your lives. So again, emotional control goes all different kinds of ways, not just about anger. There are other things that it can go with. And again, it's how you program your mind to think, and that will help in these situations. So again, pause, think, why am I responding this way? Why could they maybe have done the things that they do? When it's somebody close to you, did I have a conversation with them about how things make me feel? So if there's some example that you have of a situation where you have emotional control, or how you cope with having emotional control, or things that you still find yourself doing like me with anger and not always being able to still control, even though you're cognizant about, I do have an issue, I'm trying to solve it. Anything that you have like that, please put in the comments. And again, the whole point of this channel is to have community and to make sure that we all feel like we're not alone, that we feel the same things, that we have these thoughts and these things that go on in our head. And I just think that the more that you practice these things, the more that you discuss these things, the more that you try to reflect on these, and you can go back to another thing that you can journal about when you have these issues where you didn't control your emotions, that will help you maybe solve them and help you control them a little more. Again, not about not having emotions, about your reactions and how you use your emotions. So anyways, please, comments, anything that you feel that you use to help you, or things that have happened in situations that you still are having or fighting with controlling. And remember that your smile makes me smile, and that be kind, be grateful, and be helpful. And so until next time, have a great day.